travelling the hills and travails of musical theatre writing and composition. You've recently been touring your own show.
Yeah. That show is a show that I've been working on for a few years called Things I Could Never Tell Stephen. It's just 4 characters from Stephen's life. Now, Stephen is just an ordinary person, ultimately, and that's probably the interesting thing about the show. He's not particularly standout. He's just an ordinary person, and it is filled with... Well, the fact is we never meet him. That's sort of the twist, I guess, of the show. And so it's 4 characters sharing things that they can't tell him for whatever reason. And that premiered in Sydney at the end of last year. So well received that we're now taking it to Melbourne for a 2016 performance down there. And then from there, we'll take it to other states as well. So we've been in Melbourne the last few weeks to then find a production team for the show and a venue and all of those things. So
I think that's the other thing, finding a team, a production team. There's a lot more to it than just sitting there banging out a few, isn't it? Especially when you're touring a show.
There's a fair amount of trust that needs to be established. So it means a fair amount of interviewing and research into people to make sure that they're the right people, particularly if I'm living in Sydney and they're in Melbourne. I can't really keep an eye on the production, so I need to make sure that they know what they're doing. I think that it's having faith in directors and performers as creators themselves, because they are creators, but I think often we sort of see them more as puppets. So providing a bit of a platform for them, or a template or something that they can then make that's something that's a little bit more their own as well, because I think
you want them to invest in the whole project, don't you?
It should be far more collaborative, I think.
That's a good word.
Than just, this is what I've written and you need to bring it alive just as I wrote it.
Actually, that's one of the good things, isn't it? When writing a performance piece such as that, there is so much more room for reinterpretation and not so much rejigging, but just a slight reinterpretation. It's like everyone has slightly different qualities.
Yeah. I think that I see my role as a writer is to create, I guess, a sort of a platform that other creators that are directors and actors can bring their own creativity to, and then take it a step further.
You're giving them some room.
That's it.
Some of Stephen's music's been fairly widely travelled.
Yeah, so I think it was last year or the year before. It was the first time that some of the songs had been performed in the UK. And then after that, they performed in Canada. But then just the start of this year, 3 of the songs from Things I Could Never Tell Stephen were performed in a new musical showcase on West End of London by West End performers. And so it was a fundraiser for refugee aid over there at the time. So and apparently it's quite well received. I was not there to see it, but from all accounts by the people that staged it, the snippets that I saw seemed to be quite good. So I love my darling, I love my dear, it pains me greatly when he's not near. Beside my angel, I'm overjoyed. However, there are some pet names I must avoid. I call him Stefan or Stevie Pie. I call him Snowflake, Windshield and I call him honey, or my cuteness, or my flower, or my sweetness. That's my blossom, my little blossom I call him angel, my sweet as love. I call him precious, turtle dove. I call him fruity, or just cutie, or my beautiful patootie. That's my blossom, my little blossom There was this one time whilst drinking chai, when I saw Stephen out with some guy. I yelled out treacle, he turned his head, then his face turned to the deepest shade of red. I call him schnookums, he hates that word, not even Pupsy, which I find absurd. He loves my ducky and my puppy and my little buttercuppy. That's my blossom, my little blossom and I. When I use pet names, he won't reply. Though Stephen's like that, I always try. I yell out poodle to my noodle, to my little cockadoodle, to my blossom, my little blossom and I. I call him Muffin, he found it rude, so I refrained from You can find me on Facebook. I've got a fan page on Facebook, Jye Bryant, Bryant. So you can find me, or you can look for the Things I Could Never Tell Stephen, or the website, which is thethingsicouldnevertellstephen.com.
Wonderful stuff. It's been a real absolute joy, a pleasure to have you in here this morning, Jye.
Thank
and
you,
you too, Craig.
Thank you.
It's been a lot of fun, and I can only wish you all the best with Stephen.
I went out today to that little cafe we always walk past but never go in. Today I went in. Thought I'd give it a spin, so I had coffee and a toasted croissant. I wasn't alone, I'm too honest to say. He swept me away. I decided to stay. You used to adore me once upon a time. Now you ignore me like I live a world behind you, aging and alone. I can recall a night in summer, can you recall that day in June? You and I together always, you and I were never far apart. But how things have changed. Seems we're both so estranged, now I don't know you and you don't know me. On our wedding day, swore we'd honor obey. I was confident that what you said you meant, but 6 months have passed. They keep on asking, where is Stephen? I get embarrassed, so I lie. Stephen is busy, always working. They know I'm lying, but I try. I take a breath and keep on smiling. I just pretend that we're okay. I watch the couples at the table, dreaming of that small cafe. I went out today. I'm unsure what to say, but nothing happened. Just a coffee, that's all. He's not like you at all. He's not quite as tall, but he is caring, and he smiles just like you. But he's not you.
Oh, wow!